But right now, it's Bob Ghetti, host of SuperTalk Eagle Hour, going to give us the update on the Golden Eagles' big game today. Bob, welcome to the show.
Well, thank you for having me, Gerard. I appreciate it. A lot of excitement, as I'm sure you can imagine, here in Hattiesburg. 5 p.m. showdown on ESPN2 with a trip to Omaha, Nebraska on the line. Quite a day here in the Burg.
Man, are we all pulling for it? I guarantee you. We want to see Southern Miss represent the great state of Mississippi in Omaha in the College World Series, and especially the way the Volunteers have sort of taken their shots at Hattiesburg and Southern Miss and Mississippi in general. We'd like to see them go home, honestly. So set the game up for us today, Bob.
Well, you're 100% right on the shots taken by the Tennessee fans, and nobody wants to see them go home any more than I do. So it's game 3 tonight. The Golden Eagles prevailed 5-3 in the first game. Tennessee came back from a 4-run deficit yesterday, and to their credit, won the game 8-4. They played 18 innings. Tennessee has scored in 3 of the 18 innings. That's the oddity of baseball, but yet the series is 1-1. Tennessee probably has a little depth advantage in pitching tonight, although the Golden Eagles do have a young man by the name of Nico Mazza, who's been very, very good all year, and Nico's going to start the game tonight. And they still have, Southern Miss still has some good arms that have not been used yet. So from our standpoint, Gerard, we sort of see this as a 50-50 toss-up. Two pretty evenly matched baseball teams, and anything can happen in baseball, but we think the Golden Eagles will have that home crowd advantage. It'll be a big, big crowd since it's at 5 o'clock, and we remain optimistic here today that the Golden Eagles can punch that ticket tonight to Omaha. And Gerard, what a magical thing it would be. It was in 2009 that Corky Palmer announced his retirement, and the Eagles went on a run all the way to the World Series, and we're one game away from that fairy tale almost repeating itself. It's there's just so much on the line tonight. It's pretty exciting.
And you'd love to see Coach Berry make that trip.
I told Paul Gallo this morning that Scott Berry's a great coach, but Scott Berry's a better man than he is a coach, and he's a beloved figure here throughout South Mississippi. And yeah, from the players to the fans to the administration, we really all want to see this badly for Scott Berry. Yes.
Yeah. All right, so what's the weather look like? We talked about that a little bit earlier on the program. 50-50 shot of the rain, right?
Well, that's what we heard. Now, one of my employees just came in and showed me that they've dropped that to 40% by first pitch tonight at 5. So it's beginning to look a little better. We're certainly hoping that there's not a rain delay. Lightning is what worries you because they can play in the rain largely on a turf field, but they're not going to play if it's lightning. So, it appears to be getting a little better, and we think that ESPN moving the game to 5 o'clock was a wise move because we're expecting some rain here in the next few hours for sure.
So, Bob, what's your understanding of what plays out if for some reason they're not able to complete this game today because of weather?
Well, that's an interesting question. And with only 2 games left in the Super Regionals, if they couldn't play the game tonight, you would only assume that they would try to play the game Tuesday morning or Tuesday early in the day, because somebody's going to win and somebody has to have time to make preparations to be in Omaha opening ceremonies at the end of the week. So I would assume that if the weather knocks things out, well, first I'll say I think they're going to do everything they can. So we could be playing at 12 or 1 o'clock in the morning. If not, then I think they would come back early. I remember several years ago, Mississippi State was here in a regional, and I want to say that game ended at 1 or 2 o'clock Tuesday morning because of weather delays. So my guess is, Gerard, they're going to do everything humanly possible to finish that game by tonight.
Okay. Well, set up the pitching for us for the Volunteers. Who have they got on the hill tonight? Who's scheduled?
They get their number 3 guy. We were told at the start of the series that they have 3 starters that are potential top 3-round draft choices. Drafted in the first 3 rounds
Yep.
of the Major League draft. So they have a lot of arms. Here's an example. Yesterday, their pitcher threw his 105th pitch, and it was 96 miles an hour. They
Unbelievable.
brought in a relief pitcher who never got under 100 miles an hour. So Tennessee has some really high quality arms. I don't know the young man's name, but he is their number 3 starter. Nico Mazza has actually not been the number 3 starter most of the year for Southern Miss. He's been a relief pitcher, but it's all hands on deck.
Yeah.
And we think Southern Miss has the best pitching coach in the country in Christian Ostrander. And there's a saying down here: we have faith in Oz. And so we have faith tonight that Oz will steer them through this. But Tennessee, very, very stout with their pitching. No credit, no question about that.
How would you contrast the offenses of the respective teams?
I actually think Southern Miss has a little bit of an edge offensively. Tennessee hit one big home run yesterday, but other than that, Southern Miss has pretty well contained the Tennessee offense. Southern Miss made 4 errors yesterday that led to a number of those runs that the Volunteers scored. I give Southern Miss a slight edge offensively, and I give Southern Miss a slight edge defensively in the field. I give the edge in pitching depth and pitching talent to the University of Tennessee.
Yeah. But, as you well know, Bob, it literally could be an inch here and there of a hit ball, and that sort of gets to the head, and then everything just changes. I mean, it's the game is sort of momentum is determined by each pitch in the game of baseball. Could just flip things around.
No, you're 100%. I'll give you a quick example of that. Hill Denson, former coach here, has been a tournament director for NCAA tournaments for a number of years. He tells me a story of several years ago. Ole Miss was playing Virginia in the 3rd game deciding who went to the World Series. Ole Miss, with runners at 2nd and 3rd, hit a sharp line drive down the first baseline with 2 outs, and it was 2 inches outside of the foul line. The very next inning, same situation, Virginia hits the same pitch, the same shot, 2 inches inside the foul line. Virginia goes to the World Series, and Ole Miss doesn't. So
unbelievable.
That's baseball, right?
Yeah, that's what makes the game so great, and why it's just hard to predict, honestly. The outcome of baseball games, you just don't know. And on any given day, any team can beat any other in the game of baseball. And as you well know, Bob, you got JUCOs that have got pitchers that could mow down D1 teams. They got at least one on a really quality JUCO team that could mow them down. And you'll see them in the majors on the Hill a couple of years after their JUCO career. So it's an interesting game in that respect, and it truly is more of the game of inches, as Coach Denson pointed out to you. So a quick personal connection there, Bob. I played at St. Joe baseball here in Jackson when Coach Denson was the head coach at Callaway. I pitched against him when he was the head coach at Callaway High School. That was a long time ago, but you could tell then he was going to go places. He's just a quality guy. I played for the legendary D.M. Howie, of course, here in Mississippi in the Hall of Fame. But it's going to be fun, and we're pulling for the Golden Eagles. So don't want to look ahead too much, but who would they match up with in Omaha?
LSU.
Okay, that's what I thought. But that'd be great, though. No, it doesn't, but it shouldn't be when you're among the 8 in Omaha. So it's the way it should be. And what a lot of interest there would be in such a matchup in Omaha. I mean, you got 2 programs that are less than 100 miles apart from each other going to Omaha to play baseball on the big stage of college baseball.
They played regionals last year against each other.
Right.
3 heavyweight fights between Southern Miss and LSU in the regionals last year.
Remember it well. So before we go here, have you talked to any members of the team? We got about a minute left. What's their attitude? What are their thoughts?
Confident kids. They're a gritty bunch of kids. As Dustin Dickerson said last night, The message is simple. We win, we go to the World Series. We lose, we're going home. We're going to come out and play really hard.
I love it. I love it. Bob, best of luck to you and great coverage on the Super Regional, sir. And we're pulling for the Golden Eagles tonight. Appreciate it.
Thank you very much, Gerard.
You got it. Bob Ghetti, host of SuperTalk Eagle Hour here on SuperTalk Mississippi. We're coming right back with more in the Element Wealth